Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to review for you the photo books Lay Flat and Perfect Bound by the company CEWE. I'm sure most of you have heard about CEWE. It's the biggest company in Europe for photo gifts and photo books. They don't ship outside Europe, so if you are in the States or Australia or anywhere else apart from Europe, unfortunately at the moment you can't get these books. They can only be delivered within Europe into 24 countries. CEWE has been in the business for so many years. I think it's 5 decades by now, and they have a presence in most European countries, and they also do lots of third-party production, so they do photo books for other companies under different company names. But 50 years is a very long time, and the company has come a long way, and now apart from photo gifts, mugs and t-shirts and cases and things like that, and wall art, they obviously have a very big and quite impressive range of photo books. The reason why CEWE stands out for me is because at first glance it looks like a consumer mid-range photo book. However, when you look at the options that they offer, they cater for everybody. So they have so many sizes, so many paper options, and they do digital and silver halide books. So they do offer a lot more than the average consumer photo book, and you'll see this in the review, and the quality was really good as well. So let me show you the 2 books that I've got. So I have a hardcover silver halide A4 photo book, which looks like this. It's pictures from Bali. It has a high gloss paper and just a few more pages. And I also have an identical book, half size, is an A5 size, which is digital and is soft cover. So I can show you different paper types, different cover options, and different printing options. There's so much to say, so I'm just going to go straight into my up-close shots and show you the sizes, cover, binding, paper, printing, and the editor. And then in the end, I'm going to come back and talk to you about the price, delivery, deals, and the pros and cons of these books. Let me start with the unboxing. It comes in a bright red envelope, CEWE, and let me take it out. And then you've got a little wrap around, and there we go. So it comes in the following sizes: landscape 14 by 13 centimeters, 19 by 15 centimeters, 28 by 21 centimeters, and 38 by 29 centimeters. The square sizes come in 21 by 21 and 30 by 30 centimeters, and the portrait comes in 38 by 29 and 28 by 21 centimeters. So this one here is the small landscape, 19 by 15 centimeters, roughly like an A5, and that's the large landscape, the most popular product that they have, which is like an A4. I think they've got a size for everybody. There are loads of landscape portrait sizes and some square ones, the small and the large. So whatever you're looking for, you're going to find something that fits your needs. And now let's go on to the cover. They've got 5 different cover options: booklet, soft cover, hardcover, linen, and leather. Now, not all of these can come with any book. If you do a lay flat book, then it has to be a hardcover, which is an image wrap like this one here. If you do a very small book, then it can be a booklet, which is saddle stitched. If you do the digital books, they can be either hardcover or soft cover. The biggest sizes can have a leather or the linen cover. However, these cannot be lay flat in that case. It can be a bit confusing, but again, if you go for lay flat, it's going to be a hardcover. If you go for a digital book, then you can have hardcover, soft cover, linen, or leather if it's extra large. This is the hardcover, which is really glossy. Customize the front, customize the back, customize the spine, where I've got the title. On the back, you've got a logo there in the bottom. I like a glossy finish. I know not everybody is fond of it. Some people like matte, but that's how it comes. So full gloss, and the soft cover is glossy as well. Just the same finish as the hardcover, but obviously it's going to be a lot softer. So same front, you can customize it front and back, same barcode. Despite it being really thin, you can still have a spine text on it, which is really good. So the covers are all really good quality, but it would be nice to have the leather and the linen option for the smaller book sizes as well, and maybe to introduce a matte option for the hardcover, as some people prefer that. Let's go on to the binding. Again, 3 different options here. You can have a lay flat book, which is obviously the nicest one. It's this one here. Let's have a look at that one. This is how it opens. It stays fully flat. The pages are printed as a double spread and they are stuck together, so it creates a seamless lay flat finish. And let's have a look at the top as well. So that's how it opens. As you can see, the binding looks really neat. Again, let me show you. That's like a double spread photograph, so it looks really nice when it's fully flat. The book starts with one white page on the left side, then the photos start on the first page, and it's the same on the back as well. But you've got a logo there and a barcode too. Now let's have a look at the perfect bound. This is obviously the cheaper option, and you're going to get this if your book is printed digitally. So if you opt for silver halide, it's going to be lay flat by default. You don't have to choose it, it's the only option. But for the digital books, it's going to be perfect bound, which means that the pages are glued together on the top. Focus camera, please. That's it. And it's not opening completely flat. There's very little getting lost in the middle, but obviously it's not going to be completely flat. So there you go, the same double page spread, but you kind of have to force it to stay open, but it's a lot more cost efficient and it still looks really good. Now let's go on to the paper. This is where I love CEWE. They are offering 6 different paper types, and the paper types are basically put into 2 groups based on the printing process. So if you get a digital book, you have the option of a classic, high gloss and a true matte paper. They are all 200 GSM and they all come in the perfect bound book, so you can't have them in the lay flat. And if you want your book to be silver halide printed, you have 3 options again. You have a classic photographic, which is lustrous to me. You have a gloss photographic and you have a matte photographic. If you do go for the photographic, the paper is going to be 300 GSM, so it's a lot thicker than the standard paper used in the digital process. So let me show you some of the papers. Now this one here in the perfect bound book is a classic paper, which basically is a silk paper. It has a very subtle sheen, as you can see. It's very, very smooth and it doesn't have any texture at all. It's a lot thicker than the average digital photo book paper. They're usually 148 GSM, but this one is 200, so it feels a little bit heavier. Now let's move on to the silver halide paper options. So in this book, I chose the high gloss just to show you the difference between a subtle gloss and high gloss. So you can obviously see when something is high gloss, it reflects light in a much more noticeable way, and sometimes it can be harder to see it from different angles, but the colors look radiant on high gloss paper. So in the lay flat, again, you have a lustrous paper which has a sandy texture and a very subtle sheen. You have the high gloss paper, which is this one here, and you also have a matte option. So let me show you this up close. You can see how smooth it is, and just to give you a comparison of the subtle gloss and high gloss, you can see that the classic has a very subtle sheen, but nowhere near as glossy as the high gloss. All the papers are really good. Well done to CEWE for offering 6 different paper types. The only thing that's probably missing is the artistic paper, which some companies offer, but is the least popular of all. But I do know that some of you love an artistic finish, but that's the only one that you can't get from CEWE at the moment. So let's move on to the printing process. Now, this is my favorite part. When a company offers both silver halide and digital, that's when they are trying to cater for everybody out there. Let's start with the silver halide. Silver halide is extremely accurate with colors. It gives really natural colors because it's using RGB light, so the same kind of lights that you see on your screen, as opposed to digital books which use CMYK coloring. Silver halide also produces very smooth, transitions between the shades and colors, so it looks a little bit softer than the digital. I show you a comparison picture here, so you can see the same photo in digital and silver halide zoomed in to see the difference magnified. So let's have a look at the colors here. Very, very happy with the colors. Look at this flower here. It just basically comes alive on silver halide and high gloss paper. I just love it, absolutely love it. But when you come to the digital book, the first thing that you'll notice, hopefully the camera can see that, is that the colors are just a little bit different. But having said that, the digital book still looks really, really good. Obviously, when you look at the digital book, you're going to see the kind of dot structure, which you would not see in the silver halide because it's completely smooth, but that's just the way digital printers work. So if I want to sum it up in one sentence, both printers resulted in a really good print quality. However, the silver halide obviously is going to be a lot smoother, and the blacks are going to look stronger, and the dynamic range is going to be wider. But if you go for the digital, because you have a tighter budget or you don't want to have a lay flat book, then the quality is still going to be really good compared to the other digital books that I've seen. So well done on the print quality as well. And finally, let's move on to the editing. You can either do it online or you can download your software onto your computer and do it offline and upload the book in the end. I found the editing process really easy, and as you can see, both books are the same, but they are resized, and that's one great thing about CEWE, that once you create a book, you can easily print it in a different size just by resizing the book. There were loads of layouts. I'm going to post some screenshots here. It wasn't as creative as Adorama Pix or Mixbook. However, it still had loads of functions and you can easily create a book. So for this reason, I would say the editing features are great as opposed to amazing. A few pre-made templates could probably enhance the experience, especially for beginners who don't want to spend a lot of time on creating the books. Just dragging pictures into pre-made templates would probably be a good idea to add later on. So let's talk about delivery. The books came in the bright red box envelope kind of packaging that you saw in the up close shots. It was very quick. It was Royal Mail in the UK. Obviously, whatever country you are in Europe, it's going to be a different carrier. And it costed £4. It was very cheap, efficient, quick, job well done. The price of the books. So the big one, which is silver halide, A4, 26 pages and high gloss photographic paper in it, was £45 without any deals or discounts, so that's the full price. And the small one, which is the digital book, A5 size, 26 pages, classic paper, was £13. Again, if you are in France, Germany or anywhere else, the price is going to be in euros, so it might be slightly different depending on your location, but that was the price in the UK. They do have some deals on the website, but most of the ones that I've seen recently were regarding the postage. So if you use the code, you can get free postage on your order. But at the moment, I haven't seen any discount codes for the smaller books. Of course, if I do see them or if I am sent any discount codes, I'm going to post them onto my blog under the deals section. So go to thephotoboogguru.com/deals and you'll see there all the discount codes that I have for any photobook company that I've reviewed so far. And now let me tell you about the pros and cons of the books. What were the things that really stood out and what are the things that you might want to watch out for? So let's start with the pros. First thing, it was a really good build book with really good print quality, both in the silver halide and the digital one. The binding was strong and sturdy in both the lay flat and perfect bound book, and there were quite a lot of sizes to choose from. The editor was extremely simple to use. I didn't have any errors, any crashes. It was straightforward. And I really like the feature where you could resize the book. So I created this book first, which was an A4, and then I wanted to reprint it in an A5 size, and all I had to do was to change the size. There was a little bit of a glitch, which I'm going to say in the cons, but basically you just have to create one book and then print it out in any size with the same proportions. The other thing I want to praise is that they offer both digital and silver halide printing. As we know by now, silver halide is far superior, but some people might not want to pay so much, so they want to cater for everybody out there and then keep everybody happy. There was one thing that I forgot to show you in the up close shots, which is highlighting. They have an option that you can highlight text on the front cover, with gold or silver colors, and I think it looks really good. I'm going to post a picture here. Another thing that was really good about the company is their website. It's clean, it's neat, everything is there that you need to know. All the information about the papers, the binding and the books, nothing's hidden. I didn't have to ask them a million questions. Also, the editor works online, offline, and they also have a mobile app. Now let me mention a few of the cons. Some of the stuff that I was missing was something that didn't work out so well. So regarding the covers, as I said, it's a little bit confusing to figure out which cover is eligible for which book type. And at the moment there is no matte option for the hardcover, which I think would be a nice thing to introduce. The second thing is that the linen and the leather option is only a choice in the extra large books. I think it would be nice to introduce them, even if not for the smallest books, but at least the A4 size. I mean, it's a decent sized book and it's their most popular one. Also with the lay flat books, there was no other option for the cover. I could only have a hardcover image wrap. I always say that if one book is your most precious, in the case of CEWE is the silver halide book, the lay flat book, then give the most options for that book. And finally, the little glitch that I was talking about in the editor, when I was resizing the book, everything was perfect. So the pictures and the layouts got all proportionately smaller from the A4 into the A5 book. However, the text didn't change for some reason. So the text stayed just as big and then it was cropping. So I had to manually adjust all the text boxes and reduce the text size to half of it to fit it onto the page. So these were my thoughts on CEWE. I was very pleasantly surprised because I was expecting quite average print quality, and you know, it's a mid-range product, but the quality of the print was really good, especially in the silver halide. I can only urge you to try them out if you stay in Europe. The price is very reasonable, delivery was very quick. If you want to see more uploads images of these books, go onto my blog, thephotoboogguru.com. I always have a written version of these filmed reviews there. And if you want to see more of my travel photography from Bali or anywhere else, follow me on Instagram, Guy Around the World, follow me on Facebook, and thank you for watching, subscribe for more.